Hello, welcome.
Welcome, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Media Madness. It is one of our most, thank you, I'm glad you enjoyed the intro music. So Media Madness is one of our most highly anticipated events of the year at the Addison Public Library.
It's one of my most anticipated events.
That is very true.
Specifically.
It is. We get very excited about this time of year. So my name is Courtney. And this is Rachel. We are both teen librarians at the Addison Public Library. Now, if you're just like, I don't like teen stuff, good news. This is not just about teen stuff.
This is an all-ages event.
This is an all-ages event. So we put books, music, video games, and movies that were all released in 2024, with one exception. And we put them head-to-head and see what comes out on top.
Yes, we took advantage of March Madness coming up in a few weeks to do our own bracket style tournament, and at the end of it we will have the one media to rule them all.
Indeed we will. The mass media,
yes,
if you will put it that way. So if you are wondering, like, how does this work? So we have every week we are going to do a different round. So to show you, we have a full bracket. Mm-hmm. So this week we are doing the round of 32. Next Tuesday will be the round of 16, or Sweet 16. Then Elite 8, Final 4, and then eventually we'll get all the way down to our championship match.
Yes.
So there are different ways to vote, and I am putting that into the chat right now. So you can come into the library, vote in person. We have sticker voting over in the teen area, and we can tell you it's already up, and we already have some preliminary results.
We do.
So if you are listening to this and you're finding out that some of the results are not to your liking, well, it is important to vote. So gotta go vote. You can also vote online. We have the form there in the chat. You can vote here on the Twitch stream. We will keep tallies of everybody's votes, and we will add them to that, as well as all of our social media posts. That's it. So on the stories on Mondays, the stories will come out, and you can vote on those, but you can also vote in the comments of the individual posts. So lots of different places for you to vote.
And it is okay to vote in multiple ways.
Because you have to drown out the teenager vote, which is many.
Yes, but we have no way of knowing, if you've done it in person, online.
Yeah.
So we're going to take all forms.
Yeah.
It will be an inexact science.
Purely for funsies.
Yes.
We are going to have a grand time. So, without any further ado, what we are going to do today is our first Media Madness stream, and this is the round of 32. So we are going to be going over each head-to-head matchup, giving you a little bit of a description of what each one of them is. Hello, fire truck. I don't know if you can hear it, but we can. So we're going to go through each one of those and
kind of introduce each one
a little bit, because not everybody knows exactly everything. So a quick rundown of how we organized our bracket. So we have them in 4 quadrants, as brackets tend to be, and we have our books, our movies, our video games, and our music. So our books that we chose are all books that were published in 2024, and they are of the highest circulating items that came through, like circulated from Addison patrons. You can hear it. I am so sorry. I can't control that.
There are multiple.
Yeah, they're going through. They're making their way down.
We're in our lovely study room 20.
That is right.
Which, if you've been to the library, is one of the more popular ones.
Yes.
It's a little bit bigger, and it does have great views. Like right now,
it does.
We get the rain, but we also get the natural ambiance.
So if you're in our parking lot, hi. You can probably see us. Yeah. So back to the books. We have 2 adult books, 2 young adult books. Then we have 2 graphic novels and 2 manga or manhwa. One of them is manhwa. Then to our movies, over there. Those are box office.
Yeah, we looked at box office, so not necessarily specifically within Addison, but more global, which were the top movies. And we tried to do mostly family-friendly, movies that we thought most people have either seen or at least heard of.
The keyword is mostly.
Yes. And ones that we thought would be fun matchups, too.
Exactly true. So we have different ones for that, and we'll be talking about those pretty soon. Video games, this is my personal expertise, and I was pulling from popularity as well as some sales, as well as things that I know that our patrons engage with. And then finally, music. We went for artists that have had albums come out this year. Lance, except for one. We'll explain why. So when we get there, we went from that and we went for like the top artists and the top albums from 2024.
So we looked at streaming, Billboard charts, results of the Grammys.
Yes.
All took into account to get our top 8 musicians.
Similar in the way of like the video games and the movies. The video games had the Game Awards, and that kind of contributed to that. The Oscars didn't really play into game with this one, but but that
we wanted more popular commercial films versus something that is meant for the Oscars.
That's right. So, shall we get into it?
I think we should.
I think we should. All right, so here we go with the round of 32. Diddle-diddle-diddle-diddle. And the first matchup is The Woman and versus The God of the Woods.
Yes, so these are our 2 adult fiction titles. These were very popular in 2024. But if you have not heard of them, The Women is historical fiction. And a brief plot summary, we have Frankie McGrath is a young nurse who served in the United States Army Nurse Corps during the Vietnam War. I think it's a popular book club pick. I know here it has been circulated a lot.
Yeah, I think this was our top circulated item.
Yeah.
But The God of the Woods is fairly close behind as well.
Yeah, so that one is a mystery/family drama. And there we have 13-year-old Barbara Van Laar disappears at a summer camp in the Adirondacks. Adirondacks? Is that how you say that?
Adirondacks.
I've never heard it.
I have heard it. I don't think I have ever seen it spelled. So, let's see.
In 1975. It is also historical.
Yeah.
So this is one that was our summer reading title last year, right?
No, it's coming this year.
It's coming
this year.
That's
Sneak
right, because it
peek,
came out
friends.
last year. It will be one of the adult summer reading picks.
There is. We currently already have all the books purchased for our summer reading.
Yes.
Coming in several months, and there are many copies of this in somebody's office right now. There's just stacks of them.
Of these 2, I have read The God of the Woods, and I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I have heard many people enjoying both of these, so I think that one's a pretty tight matchup.
Yeah. God of the Woods right now is leading, at least in person. I don't know about online.
In person, not sure about online polls right now, but in person it does seem to be leaning towards God of the Woods. However, I do think that I have heard some justification being, I like the title.
Yes.
So if that's your justification,
it's a fun title.
Awesome.
It's a fun cover.
Yeah, I really like that cover.
You got the dripping paint. Yeah.
But then you also have like this great motif here.
Yeah.
So
very
both
dramatic.
of them, this works very well for like a historical fiction, and then this one works very well for like a mystery, bit of a drama. So we'll see how that one goes. Again, if you're just like, no, the woman has to win. Well, get voting. Get voting.
Early and often.
And even right now, if you're just like, I have an opinion, this is one of your ways you can vote. Comment in the chat below, and we will keep it counting.
Yes.
So next up is our next matchup. This is our young adult fiction. So there were, of the ones that we were chosen, we pulled the top 10 of like circulating of each item type, and many of the young adult top circulating items were all like sequels or next in the series. So both of these are both individual. They are the first ones. I also believe they are both standalones.
Heartless Hunter is book 1.
Ooh, I was wrong.
I don't know if it's a duology, trilogy, but it
that's
does,
right. I do think it is
book
duology.
one.
Yeah, I think it is duology.
There will be
So,
another one.
Heartless Hunter, this is by Kristen Cicerelli. So this is a dark fantasy romance, so a dark romantasy, if you will. This is an enemies to lovers that does not get any higher stakes than a witch and a witch hunter falling in love. These are two who are using each other and thinking that the other one is being tricked when they are indeed not.
Yes.
So it is high stakes indeed. That one looks actually it looks very fun. This one's on my to read list. I think it'll be a grand time. And then the next one is Warrior on the Mound. So this is a historical sports fiction, and the book itself is narrated by a 12-year-old Cato, and this is an intense and evocative story of racial unrest in pre-war North Carolina. And it ends with a dramatic matchup between black and white Little League teams. So there's a lot of things going on with this one, and so it is written by, both of these are written by female authors. The Warrior on the Mound is Sandra W. Hayden, and both of those look really good too.
Yeah,
they
and
have
also
great
very
reviews.
different. You know, we have fantasy, and a more realistic, and it is historical.
Yeah.
These are very different readers. You know, like there's not going to be a lot of crossover in kids who tend more towards this versus this one. So yeah, I think this will be interesting to see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Wins
Do
in
we
this
know
matchup?
where we're lining towards right now?
Right now, Warrior has a slight lead, but not by much.
All right, so we're
It's
pretty
fairly
close. We're pretty
close.
close. I do like how the cover for Warrior has, it's a bit difficult for you all to see, but you'll see it online in a other place, but there's like a ghosty figure behind him. I think it's more of like a, you know, like the spirits of our, or like the spirit of things, rather than like, ooh, a ghost.
Yes.
But it's a gorgeous cover. And then Heartless Hunter's just got like, that would be an awesome pin on somebody, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's good jewelry. All right, next up we're moving on to our graphic novels.
In our graphic novels, we also have two very different ones. So we have Soul Before Sunrise, which is our realistic graphic novel. Haunted by a lost friendship, Songji rediscovers herself during nocturnal exploration of a dreamlike soul.
I have flipped through this one. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So this is certainly an artistic choice, but a sort of lyrical and like contemplative choice as well.
Maybe like a more slower pace.
Yeah, which is quite different than...
Quite different from Nothing Special, which I believe is 2 books. Is there a volume 1 and a volume 2? This one is volume 1.
This one is originally a webtoon.
Okay.
So I'm not sure
could
how
be
long
more-
it's going to be.
yes.
It's quite a long-lasting webtoon. So it's I love being able to share like have bound copies of
Yes, of a
webtoons in our
webtoon.
library, which we have a lot.
We do.
Yeah.
And so this one is fantasy. 2 not-so-human teenagers and a friendly ghost radish face the fantasy adventure of a lifetime.
Honestly, I was sold at Ghost Radish.
Yes, which you can see.
Look at that little guy. Yeah, he's adorable.
Yeah, this one, going to be a lot more, I'm thinking fast-paced.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think
fun,
fans of like
fantasy.
Amulet are going to be really happy with that one. But yes, it's a very wide range. And I know younger readers who read this one. I also know readers my age who read this one as well.
Yeah.
The first time I heard about this was from someone I went to college with.
Oh, cool.
So, they're there.
And in person, Soul actually has the lead, which I'm surprised by.
Yeah.
Just based on our demographics.
I would have also thought
Age-wise,
it'd be a little bit different.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our manga. So this is, actually, we have a manga and a manhwa. So one of them is Japanese origin and the other one is Chinese origin, I do believe. Or it could be Korean. Apologize if I get that wrong. So The Lady and Her Butler is our first one. This one is a manhwa. It was originally a webtoon, and it is a romance. So this is a charming rom-com about a woman avoiding romance and her chore-bartering roommate who swears that things will stay clean. So I think this one has like a lot of misunderstood intentions. It is, I've flipped through it. It is there's nothing graphic in any way.
Yeah.
So no concerns there whatsoever. But it is quite funny. I also have to mention that I enjoy the author photos for both of these.
Yeah.
Apparently there's something really big within Japanese, or like manga and manhwa culture, where authors like to maintain their privacy, so they sort of have like a persona or like an icon that represents them. And both of them are just so endearing and lovely. All right, so the lady and her butler is this one is paired up with turns out my online friend is my real life boss. So this is a workplace dramedy romance as well. So this is Hashimoto, is your average office worker. He is young and prone to being pushed around by his demon boss, Shirase.
Not a literal demon.
Not a little demon, but just like
a boss who,
real
like,
rough boss.
Yeah.
Tough dude. So his only escape is his favorite online game and the friends that he has made within it. But when he plans an offline meetup with the party, he gets the surprise of a lifetime. So, I bet you can guess who that is. It's pretty darn funny, and there is some romantic undertones that kind of like settles in. I think it is very much a slow burn type of a game with that one, but it is very fun.
And these are pretty much tied in our sticker voting. It was hard to...
Yeah,
There's
solid.
maybe like a 1 or 2 sticker difference.
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
very fair. So it's
Yeah.
really tight there. So remember, if you are wanting to vote, make sure that you vote. You can, again, like comment in the chat below, and all of those things will go through. Oh, also, I suppose I'd be uploading this to YouTube like tomorrow, so comments there will also
Comments
apply.
there will count. Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be checking in.
I will
And
go with those.
the link will also be in the YouTube as well. To go
That
through
is
and do
true.
the
Yeah.
form.
Vote through the form. Right now, the form has one singular vote, which I will tell you what that is when we get there. All right, so on to our movies.
Yes. On to
These are
movies.
very exciting. Are you ready?
We're ready.
Woo! Cheaters. All right, first up.
First up in the animated bracket, animated sequels, in fact. So we have Inside Out 2, the Pixar sequel to Inside Out, in which joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust have been running a successful operation by all accounts. However, when anxiety shows up, they aren't sure how to feel.
We already have a vote for Inside Out 2. Noted.
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 Inside Out 2.
One for Inside Out 2. That is a strong vote as well. This one, all right, I will admit I have not seen either one of these just yet.
I've seen both of these.
Yeah, all right. So how are we
Inside
feeling?
Out 2 is very cute.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
Very
My 5-year-olds loved it, so
That is fair. That by itself is also a good vote. Can your
Yeah,
5-year-olds vote?
maybe.
Maybe.
Sure, why not?
All right,
Show
so
them
who
fun.
is Inside Out 2 up against?
Moana 2, which is the Disney sequel to Moana,
Yes.
in which Moana journeys to the far seas of Oceania.
Oceania. Yeah.
Yeah. After receiving an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors.
Yes.
Now, my children have also seen Moana 2, and they also did like it. I don't know what they would vote for. It may change on the day.
We'll have to find out for next round.
Yes.
See how that goes.
Their votes.
So these were both very highly anticipated when they were coming out. They both, absolutely did very well in box office and further and beyond. So they're both really great movies that I intend to be watching very shortly, because now I feel like I have to. Where are we with the matchups?
In person, Moana 2 has the lead.
Oh dear.
Yes.
Willy Billy, you're gonna have to start voting some more times.
Yeah. Get online.
Get on the well, you're gonna have to vote more.
Don't boo.
Don't
Vote.
boo. Vote. If it is important to you, you need to vote. So get on to our socials, comment there, vote on the form, come into the library. I have no idea where that's going. Apologies for the ambiance. Apparently, they're upset about Moana 2 also being in the lead currently.
Get in here and vote.
All right, next matchup, we have our action-adventure movies. Coincidentally, I believe that both of these are the third in their franchise. Just coincidence. We first start off with Deadpool and Wolverine. So this is a Marvel Studios based off of the Marvel Comics. Deadpool and his peaceful existence comes crashing down when the Time Variance Authority recruits him to help safeguard the multiverse. So he soon unites with his would-be pal, Wolverine, and to complete the mission and save his world from an existential threat. There we go. Mm-hmm. Got it out. This is the one where we were like mostly family friendly.
Yes. This is, I believe, the only R-rated movie, and we included it because it is a Marvel property, and
that is true.
Historically pretty popular. And
admittedly, we do know that everyone's seen it. So.
Yeah. Well, yes.
So we're not necessarily saying like go watch it, but we are saying it's what's popular and people are going after it. Well, this one is up against Sonic 3. So this one is based on the famous Sonic the Hedgehog video game series, and again, it is the third in the series. This is a story of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails reuniting to battle Shadow, a mysterious new enemy with powers unlike anything they have faced before. With their abilities outmatched in every way, they seek out an unlikely alliance to stop Shadow and to protect the planet.
Unlikely alliances.
That's also true too. That could have been the matchup theme on this one. We got a vote for Deadpool and Wolverine, so that's good.
That's one of the few votes.
Very
honestly,
few.
For Deadpool and Wolverine.
We will let you know. Sonic 3 is running away with this one
in person and
it is of the online votes on the online form so far. It has only been open a day. There is a single vote, and it is for Sonic 3.
Yes. So maybe fewer kids have seen it than we thought.
Maybe.
And they're like, I haven't seen this one, so I'm going to vote for Sonic 3. Or maybe Sonic 3 is just that good.
I think it's been very memey.
Yes.
Like the
whole franchise.
The whole franchise is very memey.
Yeah.
And I think, nope, lost it, whatever. Moving on with that one. But like the whole dancing thing with like all of that, there's so many videos out there. So perhaps that's kind of been a part of it.
Yeah.
It's got that viral thing going on, but it's a little bit newer too. So maybe that has something to play with it.
Maybe.
Who knows? We'll see. All right, next up, we are going into our musicals. So, we have none other than Wicked. Have you heard of it? I have quite a lot.
Okay. Well, if you haven't, it is a prequel / alternate telling of The Wizard of Oz. Adapted from the stage musical, which was adapted from the book, Wicked, which was a reimagining of the origin of
Wizard of Oz.
And specifically the Wicked Witch of the West, who has been named now Elphaba. So, misunderstood because of her green skin, a young woman named Elphaba forges an unlikely but profound friendship with Galinda, a student with an unflinching desire for popularity. Following an encounter with the Wizard of Oz, their relationship soon reaches a crossroad as their lives begin to take very different paths.
I just saw it.
Oh, how fun.
Kind of, sort of. I saw it over the weekend at a camp thing.
Yeah.
There was a part where I was just like, there was a middle part where I was just like, I am too tired and I'm kind of distracted, and frankly, I am way too obsessed with this.
Yes. That
I needed to revisit it later.
Yeah.
But
it's worth a rewatch.
It's the music, the voices are stunning. So I'm very, very fond. We got a vote for Wicked. That is good. I need more votes for Wicked.
Yeah, I do.
I personally am standing for Wicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was beautifully done. I thought it was gorgeously musical and everything else. Like, I can talk about this one for a long time, so we're gonna stop.
Yes. Because we have another prequel.
We do.
That is
true.
Prequels. Mufasa. Prequel / an origin story of Mufasa / Scar. Lost and alone, orphaned cub Mufasa meets a sympathetic lion named Taka, the heir to a royal bloodline. The chance meeting sets in motion an expansive journey of an extraordinary group of misfits searching for their destinies.
Yeah. So this one, surprisingly, when we were kind of pulling this all together, we kind of threw Mufasa in as sort of like a kind of a bit of a joke one, but like we had many kids saying, "Are you adding Mufasa in?"
And in fact, Mufasa is winning.
And in fact, it is winning.
Yes.
In person, it is winning. So if you want Wicked to represent, then you're going to make sure that you have to vote, much like the vote that we have in the chat. Thank you for voting.
Thank you,
but
Lily.
this one is also a musical, and it does pull on at least names from the Lion King lore, because the lore was there before this movie happened.
Yeah.
So like Taka was a standing character. So we will see. Yeah, I'll always go for the underdog. So far
it's
you have
wild
been.
that
Yeah.
Wicked is the underdog in this
Wild.
scenario, but that is the reality we're facing in this moment.
But at the moment, too, our in-person voting is majority teenagers.
Yes.
So who would probably be more interested in seeing Mufasa, which is also a much shorter movie.
Shorter, yeah.
Where Wicked is quite long.
It is quite long.
It's also a part one.
It's only part one.
It's only part one.
Yeah.
I'm like, I cannot wait, y'all. If this gets through, I'm going to be talking about it a lot. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, next one. We have our beloved franchises. Starting off with Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. So this is the 5th film in the MonsterVerse franchise. Godzilla and the almighty Kong face a colossal threat hidden deep within the planet, challenging their very existence and the survival of the human race.
No idea what any of that meant. I'm gonna be honest.
Me neither. Big monsters fighting big monsters.
I believe if I've been following the MonsterVerse correctly, we were introduced to Godzilla at one point, and then we were introduced to Kong, or maybe the opposite way, and they fought each other, but now they are working
buddies
together.
Yeah.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Is this the buddy cop movie of the MonsterVerse?
They're here to save the human race. So
which is wild because usually they don't have much concern over that.
But they're like, hey, those are our humans that we terrorize.
Those
not
are
yours.
Those are mine to be monsters over.
To the hidden threat, whatever that is.
So this one is certainly a spectacle.
Yes.
So that one's a fun one, and it matches against Beetlejuice. So this is the sequel to the original Beetlejuice, which came out
a couple of years ago.
Wild.
Just a few.
Just 1 or 2 years ago. Ish, more or less.
Yeah.
So while still haunted by Beetlejuice, Lydia's life gets turned upside down when her daughter discovers a portal to the afterlife. When someone says Beetlejuice's name 3 times...
We've said it at least 5.
We have. I think the rules are like 3 times in a row.
Oh, okay, then we're good.
I was actually quite careful.
Yeah.
So if the name is said 3 times in a row, the mischievous demon soon returns to unleash his very own brand of mayhem. This one I think is also a bit of a spectacle. I've heard that it is a lot.
It's a lot. And, you know, they got, I think, a lot of the original characters back, or the actors back, plus some new faces. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen this one. I've actually not seen either of them. They both look like a fun time.
I'll give it that. They both look like a very fun time. Yeah. So we'll see. So that is up for our movies, our movie bracket.
And in person, Godzilla x Kong is in the lead.
That one does not surprise me.
Pretty
handily, for sure. That doesn't surprise me. I kind of thought it would go that way.
Yeah.
At least with the teenagers ones. There's something to say about like gigantic monsters that they kind of grew up with that have always had like that lasting power.
Yeah.
Versus Beetlejuice, which is a bit of a cult following type of a thing.
And a little older than them.
But it's grand.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have opinions on any of those, make sure that you vote in the chat. We're already getting some votes in, so hooray for that one. And let's move to my most anticipated bracket. We're going into video games. Yeah, here we go.
So we're starting off this match up we have called Game of the Year contenders.
Because they were.
Because I guess they were.
Man, I could not come up with another way to combine these
they're pretty different games.
Very different games.
Yes, we have Astrobot, which is a 3D platformer. As the titular protagonist Astro, the player embarks on a quest to save lost bots, retrieve parts for the PlayStation 5 mothership, and defeat the alien space bully Nebulax, who had originally destroyed the mothership.
Yes. This one did handily win the Game of the Year for the Game Awards, and a lot of people were quite upset about it. And there were a million people who were so not upset about it. Ooh, I see we have a vote for Balatro. That is good. It needs votes.
It needs it, yeah.
So
Astrobot is leading in person.
Very, 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 very much is it leading in person. So that is a phenomenally fun game. And everyone who's played it, like, tends to absolutely love it. It's on my to-play list. I will get there. But that is against...
Balatro?
Yes.
Is that how you say it?
Balatro, yes.
A poker-inspired roguelike deck builder. Play poker hands and earn chips to defeat enemy blinds.
Which, this one is... It should not be as fun as it is.
Yeah, it sounds like...
Yeah. Blue Yeti, I am sure that you know, like, it doesn't make any sense, like, just from the description, why it's that good. Everyone that I have talked to, you can play this game even on your phones, on consoles, PC. It has a lot wider thing, whereas, like, Astrobot has just PS5.
Sure.
But Balatro there's something so incredibly addictive about it. While you're playing, yes, you are playing poker, but there's, like, special aces and jokers that have, like, power-ups and all these different things. So it adds layers upon layers upon things.
The graphics, from what I've seen, are a lot of fun.
Lots of fun. And what's also very fun is we have this physically in the library. You can check it out now.
That's fun.
I was so excited to see that.
Which systems?
I think I saw it. I think we have it for Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch.
Cool.
I could be wrong about one of those, but I'm fairly confident that we have it at least for the Switch. Yeah, it is quite addicting. So we'll see how that one goes. If you are, like, really strongly opinionated on that Balatro needs to have a fighting chance, you better start voting in a lot of places because
and recruit some friends to vote.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, tell the people who know.
Send them the link
that's
to
right. This one, I knew that this was actually a very difficult matchup if you are very into video games.
Yeah.
So next up we have the cozy genre of video games. So we have, starting off with Little Kitty, Big City. You can play as a cat. That should be enough for you right there.
Need we say more?
Need we say more? So this has been highly anticipated for years, and we're very excited that it's finally out. So you, as the player, assume the role of a little cat who is lost within the city and with the main objective of making its way back home. But on the way, you are going to be getting yourself into a whole boatload of shenanigans. Yeah. And it's reminiscent of, like, the Untitled Goose Game, which may or may not be being played on our Twitch channel in April. Surprise, surprise. So that one's a lot of fun, and I'm very excited to play that one.
And this is also not to be confused with the other game in which you play as a cat.
Stray.
Stray.
Which is in a dystopian setting.
Yes.
This one is
that one's less cozy,
that's
I
right.
would say.
This one is in a bright, colorful, funny adventure. Like, this one's more comedy humor adventure versus Stray, which was more of, like, a dystopian, darker adventure.
And also not to be confused with the winner of the animated picture of the year, Flo,
which looks like that.
Which looks like that.
Which looks like that. I do
Cats.
Also know that there is a button to meow.
Stray does have that.
They both do, which is, I think those are important.
You have to.
Yeah. So, Little Kitty Big City is versus Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. So, The Legend of Zelda, The Echoes of Wisdom. This is the, well, I won't say the first because it's technically not true, but it is certainly the most modern of the ones where you can play as Zelda herself.
Yes.
So that's a running issue with The Legend of Zelda. Many people think that the main character is often, or the person that you're playing is Zelda, but that's Link. Now, the confusion is resolved. So players control Zelda on a quest to save Link. It's about time, honestly. And the Kingdom of Hyrule using the Tri-Rod, a magical artifact provided by the fairy Tri, who assists her. So this one's a bit of an action, a bit of a puzzler. There's a lot of really fun things with it, and if it wins, we'll be talking about it more. So where are we on the leading for that one?
Zelda has the lead, I think, just based on familiarity.
I think that's fair. Yeah. Although I do think there's probably going to be the kitty vote. Just because there's a cat. So we'll see. So if you're strongly opinionated on that one, make sure that you are voting. All right. Next up, we have...
These are our team-ups. This team-up is the team-ups. So that is, that's what we came up with.
Yeah, these are so very different, but they do involve working together in teams.
So Helldivers 2 is a third-person co-op shooter. You play as one of mankind's elite soldiers determined to rid the galaxy of the rising alien threats.
This one has a huge player base to it. So lots of people have been playing that one, have been loving it. But it is very different from...
NBA 2K25.
Indeed.
2K25.
Which we do know, yes, 2K25, aren't we doing 2024? Well, these games tend to come out in the October.
They came out at the end of the year so that you can play it
during 2025.
Yes.
So this technically came out in 2024.
And this is actually the 26th installment
of
the
wild.
NBA series.
Yeah.
You play basketball.
Yeah,
That's what the game is.
That's right.
You can play the pre-configured teams of the NBA or the WNBA. I believe you can also kind of mix and match and do a little fantasy.
A little bit of fantasy stuff, and I think you can also make your own player as well.
Yeah, you can create your own player and kind of do the whole career trajectory of your player and getting signed for different teams. Taking sponsorships.
Yeah, it's just a solid basketball game. Where are we at with this one?
NBA has all the votes.
It's true, actually,
In
incredibly
person.
so. I thought that Helldivers would put up a really good fight. It has not.
We apparently have some basketball heads here.
Yeah, we do. So there's so many votes. I'm concerned about the rest of the bracket.
Yeah, if they all team up, NBA 2K could take the whole bracket.
It possibly could, which is quite ironic for the March Madness that this is kind of based off of.
That is true.
So I can respect it that way in a way, but also this is not a game that I personally would play. But that's just because it's not my kind of games. But the sports genres are well loved and well played, so those are grand. All right, now the last matchup, which is my personal favorites. This is our action RPG. These are two games that I can talk about way too much about. So
you have 7 minutes.
I'm trying. All right, so first off, we have Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. So this is a story about Ichiban Kasuga, who is traveling to and exploring Hawaii, trying to find his mom. The game is an experience of a one-of-a-kind combat with dynamic, fast-paced RPG battles where the battlefield becomes your weapon and anything goes. That is the most simplified way that we can possibly describe this absolutely wacky game that will make you cry and personally affect you and your soul in every way. I am currently playing this. I love it so much. I love it so much. If it
How
wins
many
this
times
one,
have you voted for it?
I am being fair. I have only voted for it once.
Okay.
So far. But we will see. It is up against another heavy hitter of Dragon Age, the Veil Guard. So this is the next in I think it's the 4th now of the franchise of the Dragon Age series, and it directly follows the events of Dragon Age Inquisition. This is the story following Rook, who, as they try and prevent the elven trickster god Solus from ending the world, and in the process, Rook accidentally frees 2 other amoral elven gods and must now also prevent them from conquering the world.
Maybe they should call Godzilla and King Kong.
Oh, maybe. That would solve nothing.
Massive team up.
Massive team up. So both of these are heavy stories, really well written and well designed. They both pull on characters that are well known to those franchises and well loved, and the side characters and your companion characters are all so nicely written, and you really get to know each of these characters. The side missions are their own, like, it's so good. Both of these are really, really nice. They're kind of the same thing of different genres, really. So where are we sitting with this one?
Infinite Wealth.
Grand. I want to talk about it some more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm currently playing Infinite Wealth. After I get through that in about 5 years, I swear, Dragon Age will probably be very closely behind that one. So yeah, these are grand ones. So we're looking forward to seeing how that goes. This obviously is like my... I'm looking very closely at this bracket, so we'll see.
Your pet bracket.
It's my pet bracket. That's the way to go about it. But if you feel strongly about any of these matchups, make sure that you vote. We've already got a good vote for Balatro. You are my favorite right now. Yeti Blue, thank you for doing so. So let's see. Let's get into our music matchups.
All right. Music had a good year in 2024. I don't know if you've listened to any music.
I mean, I certainly have, but nothing that's on here.
So our first matchup, we call this our crossover. We'll get into it. So our first one is Cowboy Carter, which is the A studio album from Beyonce. It is a second in a planned trilogy. So she had released Renaissance, and now Cowboy Carter, and we don't know yet what the third one will be. A lot of people have a lot of guesses.
Yeah, well, I have no guesses.
Yeah. Cowboy Carter won Album of the Year and Country Album of the Year at the Grammys. Yeah. And Beyonce conceived Cowboy Carter as a journey through a reinvention of Americana, spotlighting the overlooked contributions of Black pioneers to American musical and cultural history.
I think people have a lot of feelings about this one.
This one had a huge year.
Yes, it did. It won some major awards. I did
clips.
enjoy her reaction when she won. She was not expecting it, and that is actually quite precious. I will say. I love somebody who wins who doesn't think that they would.
And it, she finally got it. So
good job.
Congrats.
So that is going up against
Debut Terror Mas Photos.
Yes.
From Bad Bunny. So this is his 6th studio album.
Yeah.
I should have taken more photos. Technically released in 2025. Don't sue us.
But only by 5 days.
Yeah, it was released very, very early in 2025.
And Bad Bunny gets a vote already. As it should. Actually, both of these should definitely be voted on.
This is a hard matchup.
It is a tough matchup. The reason that we included this one was that it was very much the talk of the town right now. Don't worry, we won't get sued. Hooray. All right. No takes backs. People were talking about it. We also considered what if we waited and included it in next year's Media Madness, but then by that time I think we would have kind of forgotten about it.
Yeah, that's the worry. Although maybe we'll see it again next year. Don't sue us.
Don't sue us. We might forget. Or this coming year might not be good for music. So hey.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's very popular here. And let's talk more about it. It is primarily a reggaeton record that blends together diverse elements of Puerto Rican music that Bad Bunny listened to when growing up, including plena, jibaro, and salsa. The lyrical content explores the complexities of Puerto Rico's political status and the resulting issues such as gentrification and a loss of cultural identity. So we felt like story-wise and vibe-wise, these did have a similar background, which is why we have matched them up together. Kind of a reclaiming of a people's music. Yeah, and of these, I have heard the main single out of both of them. So which is saying something because I listen to different things. But Bad Bunny is winning here in person, which we kind of expected that one. Yeah. This community in particular, very, very fond of it. We're going for it. All right, next one, we have our pop genre. So this starts off with the album Rosie by Rosé. So this is the debut solo album of Rosé, who is a former member of Blackpink. So this is a 12-track pop album exploring pop punk and alternative pop styles. Saying pop that many times is actually kind of difficult. Poppy.
So while it is blending elements of 1990s R&B, synth pop, and ballads, the subject matter explores fame and heartbreak in Rosé's early 20s. So I will admit, I have not listened to some of this just yet.
Have you heard Apata?
I don't know.
Okay. I think you would know if you had. It's very popular in our house.
I am horrendous when it comes down to like the names of music. So I generally do kind of know like the tags on things, but like I don't recognize the names of it.
Apata is her single with Bruno Mars.
Ooh, very fun.
Yes.
So
fun.
yeah,
we played a lot.
I do have plans to listen very quickly on all of these things. So we will get there. All right. So then Rosé is up against a Billie Eilish album of Hit Me Hard and Soft. So this is the third studio album that Eilish co-wrote and co-writing Hit Me Hard and Soft with her brother and frequent collaborator Phineas O'Connell, who also produced the album. Stylistically, it has been labeled as alt pop and bedroom pop album.
Don't know what bedroom pop is.
Nor do I. But we do have some pretty
strong Billie fans.
Strong Billie fans.
Yes, she's got it here.
But part of the reason why we like doing Media Madness is to sometimes expose, we got to vote for Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, sometimes we like to expose people to like, maybe you don't know this artist. And this artist did very well this year. Blackpink was a very, very big popular K-pop band, and Rosé going out on her own is news. So,
yes. And a lot of people, I would say every single year we have people who learn that the library has music.
Yes,
both
we
physically,
do.
like we have CDs, and you can also get it on Hoopla, which is where I get most of my music.
Yeah, our digital services for our music is quite robust. So that's always a great option to do, which is also good too, because like how many of us actively walk around with CD players now?
Yeah, I do have one in my car.
Got one in the car. That's good. That's a good question. Yeah. So you might have them in your car, but like we used to have like the Walkman CD players, which always skipped and were horrible because you're not supposed to walk with them. But like it's a little bit tricky versus like being able to listen on your phone, which is a lot more accessible. All right, next matchup.
This is our rap battle.
Sure is,
if you will. I think this is a difficult choice.
I think that's fair.
Yes. So starting off, we have Doechii with her album, or mixtape, I should say, Alligator Bites Never Heal. This is her third mixtape. It did win Best Rap Album at the Grammys. And I have a longer description because I took a quote from her website to describe her album cover here. Doechii described the concept behind the title in a statement posted to Instagram. The alligator performs a spinning maneuver known as the death roll to submerge and dismember its prey underwater. This past year, I've grappled with what felt like a relentless death roll in my life. A dance of drowning in my own vices, battling differences with my label, and a creative numbness that broke me. In my research about alligator attacks, I found that a common thread in each survivor was that the main reason they survived is because they fought back. This mixtape is my fight back. I am nobody's prey. I was born to be the predator.
You go.
Yeah.
You go.
So yeah, Doechii's from Florida. Her nickname is the Swamp Princess. So the American alligator is the state reptile of Florida. So there's that tie as well.
Good call.
Yeah.
I'm excited to listen more of her work. I've heard like one thing and I went, who is that? That's good. And I saw it was her. I was like, oh, cool.
Yes. Doechii is up against Kendrick Lamar, which is rough because
that's a rough one.
Had one of the biggest years of his life in 2024. And specifically, we've got this album GNX, which is his sixth studio album. Kendrick is West Coast hip hop. This album was a surprise release. He had been releasing diss tracks for most of the year. And then was like, and also here's an album.
Pretty much.
GNX has 12 songs. It's a running time of only 44 minutes and 20 seconds. So it is the shortest studio album of his career.
Yeah, which, but also like, boy, did you just heavy punch.
Real tough choice.
Real tough choice between the two of these. Both very, very good. And how do you do? Real tough choice.
Kendrick also went home with 5 Grammys, was it? Yeah. I think all on one song. So.
It's shocker. All right, so I'm real curious to see how that one goes. So I don't think we touched on it before, but Billie Eilish is currently in the lead. And who do we have currently on the line?
Kendrick is in the lead. Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to go. So again, if you are really, really strongly opinionated on these things, make sure that you vote.
Yes.
All right, and now our last matchup of the bracket, we have our R&B category.
This is also just the catch-alls.
This is kind of the catch-alls. Yeah.
R&B, there's a little rap, there's a little jazz, there's a little bit of everything, and kind of these are like multi-genre artists.
Yes. So this starts off with Lana. So this is by SZA. This is a reissue of SOS, the second album, and for Lana's title, SZA used her real name, Solana Imani Rowe. Often called Lana during childhood, she got a tattoo of her first name at 13 years old, but she could not afford a tattoo of all 6 letters.
It's so teenager.
Yeah, I know, it's so very teenager. So she had to pay $10 for each letter, but only had $40, so she used only the last 4 letters of her Solana name for her tattoo.
I think that's precious.
It kind of is precious. It's such a very teenager thing to do, and like you gotta make a choice somewhere in there. I will say this is obviously not the album cover.
Yeah, well, I believe it is one of the alternate covers.
We'll take it because
she released 6 different covers. This was, maybe the most family friendly one.
We were going for family friendly on this one for sure. And then, so Lana is up against Chromacopia, and this is by Tyler, the Creator. And this is the 8th studio album. Conceptually, Chromacopia is narrated by Tyler's mother, Bonita Smith, as a diary that pieces together Tyler's perspective on past timeline experiences separated by tracks. So, got a lot there.
Yes,
for true.
And Tyler is in the lead here in person. Tyler, the Creator, is popular. When we do our Spotify Wrapped here in the library at the end of the year, we have kids, just on Post-it notes, put their top song,
artist of the year, song of the year,
and Tyler, the Creator, is always
pretty high up there.
Times.
So is Kendrick Lamar was also up there. So is Beyonce. So is SZA. Billie Eilish too. So we also that kind of helped us narrow down what artists were going to be on the music bracket as well.
Yes.
We pulled ones that were already kind of suggested. So that is our full round of 32 bracket.
You have this week to get the votes in. I don't know if we have an official cutoff for the.
There we go. So I think they'll probably go to Sunday.
Okay.
And then we'll round up the votes on Monday and then votes will be posted, or the next round will be posted in person on Mondays. In fact, I'll post our schedule. It's not too clean, sorry, but there you go. So our rounds started today, or in person they started today, and then every week we will be having a Media Madness stream, just like this one. This is our round of 32. So the next round of voting starts in person on March 10th for the Sweet 16. That'll also be the...
discuss it that Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll discuss it that Tuesday on our next Twitch stream. And that'll just kind of keep on going through that pattern. So in person for Elite 8 will be March 17th. Those are also when the digital voting and everything kind of starts, the form voting and everything. But we'll have so Mondays are voting starts, and then Tuesdays is when we have the Twitch streams. So Elite 8 Twitch stream is March 18th. Final 4 Twitch stream is March 25th. And all of those are at 5:30. Going till about 6:30, and then our championship will be announced. Who is going to be going into the championship rounds? The voting for that will start in person March 26th, which I believe is like a Wednesday.
Yeah, we kind of squished that week.
Yes.
All in.
And the Twitch is going to be on March 27th, and that is going to be during one of our book buffet Twitch streams, and that's at 10:30 in the morning. And then our final winner announcement, we are going to be announcing it in person in the library on Friday, March 28th, and we'll announce it on stream during our April 1st Let's Play, and that is like, I think at like 4:30, something like that.
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of combo in the middle there, or at the very end of the month. The reason for that is that we wanted to get everything in March, and also the teenagers all go on spring break.
Yeah, we want to make sure they would see who the winner is and be able to vote in the final championship.
Sure thing.
For spring break, we get it all cleaned up, nice and
tidy. Yeah, so that is the jam, and there we go. Our this year's 2025 Media Madness.
I'm very excited for this year.
Me too.
We do have the bracket that you see up there. We do have that in paper format here in the library if you want to follow along.
Yeah, you can write up your fantasy brackets. We're not doing anything with them.
Yeah, that's just for you, just for fun, because
fun.
the voting will update each week. So
Yes.
if your bracket gets busted, that's okay.
That's
you
right.
Can, try again the next
So
week.
remember, further up, well, actually, I'll grab the link to vote online. There we go.
Yeah, we'll drop that link in the chat.
Yeah, we'll pop the link in the chat real fast.
And we'll make sure to include it in the YouTube.
There we go. Yeah, it'll be in the YouTube comments as well, as well as the schedule for the upcoming streams and whatnot. So yeah, please join us again. This was a lot of fun. I'm so happy to have you with us at this time. And if you were here at the beginning, thank you for enjoying the intro music. And if you're here at the end, enjoy the outro music. See you next time.